Good morning, New Life Fellowship. I wanted to take some time this morning to talk about reopening our church. You've probably heard that President Trump announced that churches are essential and really encourage governors to change their reopen status for churches. So we heard from Governor Pritzker here even recently that stated that churches could reopen. We are planning that. We had a business meeting last night and communicated to all of our members and our leadership and all of those folks. And so now I just want to make a public announcement that starting on Sunday, June 14th, we will be reopening for service. And I just want to take a little bit of time to share with you how we're going to do that safely and what the game plan is. We will be having 3 services. The first service is going to be at 8 a.m. and we're encouraging that service to be just for those that are 50 and over and those that would be considered high risk or at risk. We would communicate that if you have a fever or if you've been feeling sick to remain home and continue to watch on our live stream. Our second service on Sunday morning will be at 9:30, which will be a normal adult service. And our third service is going to be one that I'm very excited about. It's going to be at 11 a.m. and that is going to be a high energy family service for those with kids. So if you have kids in the children's ministry age group, like elementary age group, we'd encourage you to come to our 11 o'clock service and catch that one because it is going to be completely directed towards families. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's the one that I'm incredibly excited about. If I wasn't on staff, I'd be coming to the 11 o'clock with my kids. It's going to be an exciting time. So we have the 8 a.m., the 9:30, and the 11 o'clock service. Now, here's what we've done. We have set up our auditorium. The entire auditorium has chairs in it, but they're spaced out. And we have sections of chairs in groups of 2, groups of 4, and groups of 6. So we're asking each family to just identify a group of chairs that best fits their family and sit there. So try not to space your family out. That would take up more than one of those sections, unless obviously you have more than 6 in your family, then you could take a couple of those sections up if you need to. But don't sit. There's some people that really need to social distance or are very concerned about social distancing right now. I would hate for somebody to come in and sit right next to somebody during worship, and it bothers them. So that's kind of the thought behind the sections of chairs, by maintaining people in their own section with their family. I want to go through just a list of things here so that I don't forget anything. If you would like to wear a mask, we welcome that. If you want to wear gloves, whatever. Some people probably are more susceptible to getting viruses and things of that nature than others. And certainly we are not saying that you shouldn't wear a mask, but we are not enforcing that people wear masks while they're in the church. So that would be personal preference for you. The doors to the church will open 5 minutes before service. But when we open, we're going to have all of our entrances open. Typically, we don't have all of our entrances open. There's only one open because of security reasons. But because we don't have kids ministry going on downstairs, we're going to open up all of our entrances. So the east, north, and west entrances will be open. Many of the doors will be propped open. And if they're not propped open, they will be unlocked. Now, once service starts, our west entrance, all those doors will be locked because we don't want the distraction of people walking through those doors once service is started. Let's see. If you're concerned about a high concentration of people coming through a certain door at one time, you can, remain in your car or remain outside until that kind of dwindles down and then come through at that time. So, that's why we're opening all their entrances too, so that it's not a highly concentrated amount of people through a small entrance. We think that could be an issue. There'll be hand sanitizer at the Connect Center, but we would encourage you before you even come into the church to put hand sanitizer on your entire family's hands. But we will have that provided at the Connect Center. Our greeters, we won't have greeters at first. We'll have a couple people greeting. It'll be in the auditorium, and it will be one person in the foyer behind the Connect Center to answer questions and just greet people. Also, our parking lot attendants will be out parking cars, and they will be greeting as well. So we're usually we're a very friendly church, and we have a lot of greeters and people involved in that. But at this time, we're going to kind of cut down on that a little bit. At dismissal, we're going to dismiss people, and we'll identify all of the exits. So we'll actually have 2 exits on the west side of the auditorium. We have 2 exits on the north side of the auditorium, and then we have 2 exits on the east side of the auditorium. So we're just asking people to exit out the doors closest to their section of chairs. And then if you want to talk or socialize, you can do that outside. Obviously, if it's raining or something like that, that might be more difficult. But between services, we have to sanitize. So we're asking people that want services over to go ahead and expedite their exiting from the building, and they can talk outside. We're asking people to please pick one service. Our 9:30 and our 11 service will be recorded or live streamed. So our 9:30 service will be live streamed at 9:30, and you can catch that at home if you wish to stay home at this time still. Or if you choose to come to the 11 o'clock family service and you still wanted to catch the 9:30, you could watch it via live stream. But because we're trying to cut down on the amount of people in our auditorium, we're asking that people pick one service, the 8, the 9:30, or the 11. And that will help us to ensure that we are not over capacity when we have our services going on. And currently what we're looking at for children's ministry starting back up right now is we're hoping that by fall, schools are back in session. And if we will follow suit with that. If that's what happens, we will have kids ministry starting back up then, and youth ministry on Wednesday nights. But currently we'll still continue our Zoom calls on Wednesday nights for youth at 8 p.m. So join us for that. But hopefully we'll have physical services for youth and kids starting this fall. That's our hope. We're not guaranteeing that. We obviously want to look at numbers and see how things transpire here. But that would be our goal. The other thing is for infants, if you have an infant nursery will be open but not manned. So it will be up to you. You can go in and utilize it if you want to, if you need to feed your baby. The TV will be on in there. Or if you need to use a diaper changing table, there'll be that will be available to you as well. In the women's bathroom, there's a diaper changing table, and we have a family restroom in the office wing that has a diaper changing table that you could utilize as well. So we will be cleaning those areas and have them open and available. We just will not be manning those with volunteers. The other thing is, if you come and one of your kids begin to act up or crying or not cooperating like kids do oftentimes, we will have the cry room open, which is the old youth room, and that we'll have a video screen on in there, and you could watch it from there. Obviously, you probably aren't going to come with the anticipation of going in there and watching it, but if at some point through the service the kids are just not having it or they're struggling, you could remove yourself from the service and head into the cry room and still catch the service, so that will be open as well. So I know there's probably a lot of questions. If you have questions, you can reach us in our office at 309-762-7314. Or you can comment below or ask us on our Facebook or YouTube page, and we'll try to respond to any questions that you might have. I know during this time there's a lot of opinions on whether you should open or whether you shouldn't open. In our survey that we had 79% of our people said that they were ready to open either immediately or in the month of June. And so we're opening in mid-June as a result of that. And 21% responded that we should open when the governor says it's okay. And at this point now, Governor Pritzker has even approved churches reopening. So that would be about 100% response from our surveys anyway, are saying that the church should reopen. So that's what we're doing at this time. We feel it's important for our people. Our drive-in service yesterday went phenomenal. I had so much fun. It was like an outreach. It was just so much fun out there. The weather was great. And that's what we're going to do again this Sunday on June 7th. So I hope the weather cooperates. And I hope that you'll come to our drive-in service in the parking lot this Sunday to be our last one. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'd be an absolute blast. But then starting on June 14th, we'll be back in our auditorium and have live stream available from here on out as well. So we hope to connect with you guys soon and see you. We've missed you and can't wait for services to get back to normal. God bless you. We love you. Bye-bye.